Good day, everyone. Our lesson for today is all about solving proportions made more easy, particularly direct proportion, indirect or inverse proportion, and partitive proportion. But before that, don't forget to subscribe and share this video to your classmates and friends, and hit the notification bell for more updates. Also, you can find different subjects in this YouTube channel. Just select the playlist section. And finally, please do not skip the ads in this video. Thanks, and now let's proceed to our main topic for today, which is all about solving proportions, particularly direct proportion, indirect or inverse proportion, and partitive proportion. So let's start with proportion. So what is proportion? This refers to the equality between ratios. So pag sabing proportion, ito yung two equal ratios. So the following are proportions. Example, 1 is to 2 equals 8 is to 18. So that is an example of proportion. Or 9 over 8 is equal to 81 over 24. So that is another example of proportions. Yung A at saka B pareho silang representation ng proportions. Now, there are three types of proportion. The first one is the direct proportion. A number is directly proportionate to another when as one value increases, so does the other. So kapag ang x ay tumataas, tumataas din ang y. So that is a direct proportion. While on the other hand, kapag sinabing indirect or inverse proportion, that is a number is indirectly proportionate to another when one value increases, the other decreases. Kumbaga, kung ang x ay tumataas, ang y ay bumababa. Kung bumababa naman yung x, tumataas ang y. Yun ang tinatawag nating indirect proportion. So magkaiba ang direct proportion sa indirect proportion. And finally, the partitive proportion involves identifying parts of the whole based on the ratio of these parts. So parang hahatiin mo yung whole into parts depende dun sa mga given na ratio. So para mas maintindihan natin itong tatlong ito, let's have an example. So direct proportion. Two values x and y are directly proportional to each other when x and y will either increase or decrease together, such that when one increases, the other increases, or when one decreases, the other decreases as well. Example, if three notebooks cost 1,500, ang mahal, di ba? Three notebooks cost 1,500. How many notebooks can you buy with 6,000? The number of notebooks is directly proportional to the cost. Okay, so let's have a representation. So let me have my pen first. Let me choose color blue. Okay. So first, let's make a representation. Sabi dito sa last, the number of notebooks is directly proportional to the costs. So pwedeng ganito ang gawin natin, that notebooks over cost. Okay? Which can be represented as how many notebooks? 3 notebooks. Ang tatlong notebooks ay 1,000. Ngayon, ilang notebooks kaya ang mayroon sa 6,000? So, notebooks, we don't know yet, pero ang halaga na binigay ay 6,000. Nakukuha ba? Okay, so we will do cross multiplication. So, we will multiply these numbers and these numbers. So let's start with 1,500 times x. So we have 1,500x. And then we have 3 times 6,000. I think the answer is 18,000, right? So 18,000. Then divide both sides by 1,500. Then cancel this. We can also cancel 2 zeros here para mas lumit yung number. So we will just divide 180 divided by 15. So we have 180 divided by 15. So what is your answer? So we have, dito natira is x. Then 180 divided by 15 is equal to 12. Therefore, sa 6,000 pesos na meron ka, ay makakabili ka ng 12 notebooks. Hindi ko lang alam kung ano yung itsura ng notebook na yon, kung bakit mahal siya, but in the problem, it says that yung tatlong notebooks daw ay nagkakahalaga ng 1,500. Therefore, yung 12 notebooks ay nagkakahalaga ng 6,000 pesos. Okay? Another example. A baker uses a ratio of 1 egg for every 4 cups of flour in a certain recipe. If he or she uses a dozen eggs, how many cups of flour will he or she needs? So, gawa tayo muna ng representation for this. Okay? So, let's say, egg over um, flour. So, sa ating representation kanina, ang isang egg ay ay kailangan ng 4 cups of flour in a certain recipe. Kung gagamit siya ng 12 dozen egg, I mean 12 eggs, I'm sorry. Dozen is equal to 12. So, dozen of eggs, ilang cup daw ng flour ang kailangan niya. So, that's x. So, we will just cross multiply the two. So, 1 times x is 1x or x. And 12 times 4 is that 48. Correct. So, 48. It means that nangangailangan siya ng 48 cups of flour in a certain recipe if gagamit siya ng dozen of eggs. Did you get my point? So, that is direct proportion. Now, let's talk about inverse or indirect proportion. So, two values x and y are inversely proportional to each other such that if x increases, y decreases, or if x decreases, y increases. So, we have this one. Example, a 5 centimeter times 4 centimeter rectangle has an area of 20 square centimeter. If the 5 centimeter side becomes 10 centimeter or doubled, and the 4 centimeter sides become 2 centimeter halves, 10 centimeter times 2 centimeter is still equal to 20 squared centimeter. Okay, ano ba yon? So, ibig sabihin, if this is b is equal to k over a, where k is a constant number, using our rectangle example, that's y equals 20 over x. Y is inversely proportional to x. Doubling x causes y to halve. So, kapag daw tumataas yung x, lumiliit yung y. Kapag lumiliit yung x, tumataas yung y. So, the product of y and x is always 20. Okay, to understand it better, so let's have an example. The volume of gas in a container at a constant temperature varies inversely as the pressure. If the volume is 32 cubic centimeters at a pressure of 8 pounds, find the pressure when the volume is 60 cubic centimeter. Okay, first, ang kailangan nating kunin ay yung K. No? Kanina kasi pinakita ko sa inyo yung Y is equal to K over X if you see it. No? So, ang una natin gagawin, class, is we need to determine which is the Y and which is the X. Sabi dito, the temperature varies inversely as the pressure. Okay? Base dun sa volume of gas in a container at a constant temperature. So we have the volume of gas which is 32 centimeters, cubic centimeters, at a pressure of 8 pounds. So therefore, we can say that Y is equal to 32 as the temperature, as the cubic centimeter, the volume, and X is the pressure which is 8 pounds daw. So, first, isa-solve natin yan. Pwede nating i-equate yung ating formula na k over x. I-cross-multiply natin to. So, pwede siyang maging y times x equals k. Para makuha natin si k. Alright? So we have now, okay, 32 times 8 equals k. So, what is 32 times 8? Your answer is 256. Correct. So, So we have 256 equals k. So that's the value of our k. But that's not the end. We will still use the formula yx equals k. But now, we will substitute yung value ng k natin dito, which is 256. In the problem, find the pressure when the volume is 60 cubic centimeter. Okay. Ngayon, ano ang ginamit nating volume na representation? Ang y ba o ang x? Correct, ang y. Ang kanina, yung x siya yung pressure kasi siya yung pounds. So, dito, pressure yung hinahanap natin. So, we're looking for the x. Okay? Given yung K na 256 at yung Y, given is 60 na. Kasi tapos na tayo dun sa unang given kanina. Yung 32 tsaka 8. Nasolve na natin yan, which is 256 equals K. So, para makuha yan, we have Y. Our Y is 60. Then X equals 256. Then divide both sides by 60. Di-divide lang natin sila by 60, yung parehong yan. At ang makukuha nating value ni X, which is the pressure, ang pounds natin, i-divide lang natin siya by 60. Ang makukuha nating answer is 42.67. So we have 42.67 pounds. So therefore, ang 60 cubic centimeters ay mayroong volume, okay, ay mayroon siyang, pressure na 42.67 pounds. Okay? Kung gusto mo makita kung tama ang answer mo, i-multiply mo si 42.67 kay 60. Dapat pareho sila ng product ni Y at ni X. Ang product ni Y at saka ni X nung una, dito sa ating problem class, kung nakikita nyo, is 256. Pag minultiply ko si 42.66 or 67, sabihin na natin, times 60, ang dapat kong makuha is 256 divided 60. That is 4.26. I'm sorry, medyo nalito ako. This is 4.26 pala. Sorry, paano ba erase to? So this is 4.267. Okay. So multiply natin si 4.267 kay 60. Okay, 256. So 256 ang nakuha ko. Therefore, 256 din ang product nito. So, they are just the same. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, the pressure na mabubuo in a volume of 60 cubic centimeter, maybe a gas, is equal to 4.267 pounds. And finally, let's proceed to partitive proportions. So, pag sabing partitive, speaking of partitive proportion, we are talking about the whole divided into parts. So example, when a partnership agreement stipulates an agreed capitalization of 100,000 pesos and the partners are to divide the said capitalization in the ratio of 1:2. So what will be the value of those partnership, no? So tigma magkano matatanggap nila sa 100,000 kung meron silang proportion na 1:2. So para makuha yan, madali lang yan. So, ang gagawin lang natin is, we just let 1, which is equal to 1x, 2, which is equal to 2x, and 2, which is equal to 2x. Then, form an equation. So, for the equation, we have 1x plus 2x plus 2x equals 100,000. And then, i-add mo lang yung mga numbers, that is 5x equals 100,000. Then, divide both sides by 5. then cancel. So we will be having an answer of 20,000, right? 20,000 pesos. Okay? From this x, pwede nating i-substitute ngayon yung mga value dito. So, therefore, 1 times 20,000 as the value of x is 20,000. So, saan ko nakuha yan? Doon sa na-solve natin. Okay? Next, 2 times 20,000 is 40,000. And 2 times 20,000 is also 40,000. To check if you are correct, add all this number. Ang dapat mo makuha dyan is 100,000. Okay? 100K. So, ibig sabihin, in a partition, makakatanggap sila ng 20,000, 40,000, and 40,000 based doon sa 100,000 na kapital. Okay? Now, example 2, Jed and EJ decided that their profit and loss sharing ratio should be equal to their initial capital investment. If Jed and EJ had a capital balance of 200,000 and 100,000 respectively, how much profit would EJ get if Jed got 50,000 for last year? So magkano daw yung profit na makukuha ni EJ if Jed got a 50,000 last year? Kung titingnan natin kasi ito class, yung balance daw nilang ngayon is 20,000. Ito, 200,000 yung nakuha ni Jed at 100,000 yung nakuha ni EJ. So based from this, alam ko na kung ano ang ratio nila. Ang ratio nila ng kanilang pinag-usapan is 1:2. Ito ang kanilang ratio. Kasi, I'm sorry, maybe, no. Or, sige, pwede naman. So, let's say, yung 2 kay Jed, yung 1 kay EJ. Dapat kasi, ang sinulat ko dapat is 2:1. Kasi mas mataas si Jed kay EJ. No? Or, pwede namang 1:2. Sige, let's say, 2 is for Jed and 1 is for EJ. Now, how much profit would EJ get if Jed got 50,000 last year? Okay, 50,000 ang nakuha daw last year ni Jed. So obviously, the answer there is 25,000. So let's say that Jed had a profit of 2x and EJ had a profit of 1x. So we have a solution of 1x plus 2x equals 50,000. Again, yung 200,000 and 100,000, basis lang natin yan para makita natin kung ano yung ratio ng kanilang investment or profit nila, no? So, or yung share nila. So, dito naman is last year daw naka 50,000 si Jed. So, ilan kaya ang kay EJ? So, 1 plus 3, I'm sorry, there's something wrong here. So, 2 yung kay Jed. Okay, sige, let's see. So, we have 3x equals 50,000. So, we have 3 at 50,000. Divide mo siya ng 3. The answer is 16. Tama? 50,000, 16,000 ba? 50,000. Divide mo siya ng 3. That's equal to 16,000. No, mali. Mali yung solution, sorry. Medyo napapaisip ako. It's not this way. Kasi 1:2 sila. So, ang kay Jed ay 2x. Ang kay EJ ay 1x. So, this is not a partitive problem. Okay, I'm sorry. This is not a partitive problem. This is a direct proportion. Kung si EJ at kung si Jed ay nakakuha ng 200,000 versus sa 100,000 ni EJ, at si EJ naman, at si Jed ulit ay nakakuha ng 50,000 last year versus doon sa inahanap natin na toka ni EJ kung nakamagkano siya. So, 200,000 kay Jed versus 100,000 kay EJ. 50,000 kay Jed versus kung ano yung position nila dito, sino ba nauna? Si Jed. So, Jed din na mauna sa second equation natin. So, 50,000 kay Jed x si EJ. So, si EJ ang hinahanapan natin ng answer dito. So, by using this, pwede natin gawing ganito. Okay. I-multiply natin si 200,000 kay X at si 100,000 kay 50,000. Pero para mas magaan, bilangin natin yung zero ng pinakamaliit na number. So, ang pinakamaliit na number is 50,000. So, 4. Cancel natin yung 4 dito. 4 at 4. So, magiging 20, 10 at saka 5 na lang. So, multiply natin si 10 kay 5. Ang answer natin is 50. Tama? Ay, tama ba ako? 50. Yung kay Jed, dito naman, 200,000, 20 times X. Parang may mali. Okay. So, i-divide natin sila by 20. Cancel. So, 50 divided 20 is 2.5 equals X. And then, yung 4 na kinuha nating 0, ilalagay natin ulit dito. So, mag-move tayo ng 4 zeros sa 2.5. If it is 2.5, mag-move tayo ng 2 zeros. So, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Ay, 4 zeros, I mean. So, we have an answer of X equals 25,000. So, therefore, ang nakuwang pera noon ni EJ ay 25,000, samantalang si Jed ay 50,000. Okay? So, again, I would like to say sorry kasi ang given na problem dito is not a partitive. It is a direct proportion. Alright. Anyway, let's have another example. Of the total student in a certain town, the ratio of elementary students, high school students, and college students is 4:3:1. So 4 for elementary, 3 for high school, and 1 for college. If there is a total of 540 students, how many are elementary, high school, and college students? So let's do a representation for this. So let the high school students the elementary students as 4x. So this is the elementary student. For the high school, we have 3x. Kinukuha natin to dito, no? So this is high school students. And for the college student, we have 1x. Let's form an equation by adding all of this. So magkakaroon tayo ng equation na katulad nito. Equate natin sila sa 540 students. 540 students. Add all of this, so you will have, I think, 8x equals 540 students. Divide both sides by 8. So what is 540 Divide mo siya ng 8. What is your answer? The answer is 67.5. But let us make it 68 since we are talking about students. Tama? Um, First, let's have 4x. Gamitin muna natin ito. Nakalimutan ko, meron pala tayong given. So, we have 4x for the number of elementary students. So, we have 67.5 times 4. So, what is 67.5 times 4? The answer is 270. So, therefore, meron tayong 270 elementary students. How about 3x? We have 67.5 times 3. So, we have 67.5 times 3. The answer is 202.5, or gawin natin siyang whole 203 kasi wala namang 0.5 na estudyante. And then, for the x, we have 67.5. So, let's decide muna. Kung gagawin natin siyang 68, magiging 540 kaya ang total. So, let's count. 270 plus 203 plus 68. The answer is 541. So, hindi siya pwedeng gawing 68. So, pwede natin siyang gawing 67. Pag ginawa mo ito, ang magiging score natin ay our total is 540. Okay? So, therefore, it's either na ang answer mo dito ay 202 at the same time 68 dito or 67 dito at 203 dito. Kasi kailangan mong ibigay yung isa sa dalawang yan. Dahil nga, wala namang 0.5 na answer. Wala po tayong 0.5 na makukuha answer sa ating problem since we're talking about person or tao. No, we're not talking about amount. We're talking about discrete values. Okay? So, that's for example number 3. So, that's all about for solving proportion. Again, I would like to apologize for the second to the last example. It is a direct proportion, not a partitive proportion. Medyo nawala tayo doon, but thankfully naka-proceed naman tayo sa discussion natin. But I'm still hoping that you learn something from our discussion for this day. Thank you very much for your listening.